Okay, so these are going to be the beginning tips for our recall. A recall, for whatever word you use, means come to me. And you want to use it, you want to have kind of a formal recall. A lot of people use come, but you might get like a 40 or 50% return rate. You want something that's got a much higher return rate, something that, in a life-threatening situation, your dog will return to you. So you don't want to overuse Aaliyah. Aaliyah. Sit, down, settle. Thank you. So you want to make sure that you're going to be able to use it when you need to use it, and that they haven't overheard it and have learned to ignore it. It is much easier to unlearn this command than it is to learn it. So if I start using it off leash before she's ready, she will easily learn to ignore it, and I'll be right back where I am right now, where it's just not a very good return rate. So we start by teaching her the very basic steps of what I want her to do in a recall, which for Aaliyah is going to be come right to my center and sit down. And that's going to be all inclusive. I don't want to have a different sit command. I want it to be included in the word I'm going to use is here. So I want her here to mean stop what you're doing, come to me, and sit down. If I bring her all the way to me and tell her to sit and give her a cookie, I'm rewarding her for sitting and not for anything else. We've talked about that 1 to 2 second window you have to mark the behavior that was just offered. If I reward her for coming to me with a sit, that's her reward. She got a command for coming to me. All of a sudden her return meant a whole lot less. So if she comes to me and I sort of infer or gesture that I want to sit, and then she gets a treat for the whole exercise, that whole return and sit is what's valuable. That's the behavior that we want to instill in her. So I start by teaching her where I want her to be when I say here, which essentially is right to my center. So I'll start with my treat in my fist and keep it right here. Not that I need to follow her, or rather lead her all the way to me, but I want to give her a target to follow. If I do nothing and just back up like that, she's going to show up under my treat pouch or under my right hand. She's not going to come right to my center. So I want to teach her exactly what I want her to do before I start asking her to do it when she's paying attention to something else or at any kind of a distance. Come here, show them what you need. Come here. Good. Sit. Sit. Yes, good sit. There it is. Start with our cookie. Good girl. Good here. Yes, good here. Good here. Yes, good here. Nice job. So she offers to sit because I stop and I look expectant and I pick my hand up a little bit. Usually that kind of a gesture will teach her whatever you just did, you're not getting the cookie yet. They'll offer that sit. Yes, good here. I want to make sure that the here term is what the sit includes. Good girl. That is included in the sit. Good job. Sit. Yes, good sit. No treat for that because she knows how to sit. Good girl. Very nice. The second she gets off her hind end and starts coming to me, that's going to be when I start telling her she's doing the right thing. So I will start with her with a yes as soon as she gets off her butt and starts following me. I don't want to wait until she gets all the way to me to give her encouragement. The other thing is as I'm backing up, she's not hearing here, 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 here. She's hearing good girl, nice, here. I want to praise her, tell her she's doing it the right way. Not command, 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 command. She's already doing it, so I want to praise her for that. Good girl. Aaliyah here? Yes, good here. Good here. Good girl. Yes, good here. Excellent. Now, if they're right up on you like Aaliyah is doing, that's okay. That jumping and sort of pushiness will stop when she's at a greater distance and you're past the whole we're backing up together stage. Good girl. Sit. Yes, good sit. Aaliyah here? Yes, good here. Good here. Yes, good here. Nice job. Excellent here. Good girl. Okay, so this is what we call the undistracted recall, which means she's already sitting and paying attention to me when I start the recall. This is the very basics if you're teaching a new word. I don't want to be using like a come command if I use it a lot because again, like I said, there's a low percentage of your rate of return. So I want to have a word that she's going to be much quicker to respond to. There's a much higher rate of return. Good girl. So I'm only going to use it for the first few weeks at least when she's on a leash and I can make her do it. She already knows her here. We're just demonstrating it. That's why she's not on a leash yet. Good girl. Very nice. Aaliyah. Very good. Sit. Yes, good girl. So a mildly distracted recall is going to be if she's paying attention to something else minor, and I want to make sure she's going to turn and give me her attention. Go ahead. Good girl. That's good. Good. Aaliyah, here. Yes, good here. So much. Good here. I don't mind the enthusiasm. Good girl. So she was on her way to investigate something. I call her. You can hear she turns. The second she turns and starts coming, yes, good girl. I back up. I make it look just like I did for our very first set of exercises, where it's my hands in my center. I give her that target. She knows to come and line up to it, which is why she's stepping on my feet. And it looks just like the exercise she just did. So she knows exactly what's expected of her, and we get a much nicer recall. Good girl. Very nice. I know, I'm not going to pay attention to anything else, right? Sit. Good girl. Leave it. Here. Yes, good here. Good. Okay. Aaliyah, here. Yes, good here. So she took a little longer to give me her attention there because she's off looking for that piece of fruit and excuse me. Here. Yes. That's her. Okay, you look at it. I still want to start praising her and mark as soon as I know she's on target and returning to me. Yes, good here. If she did that to me twice, I'd put her back on a leash and we'd go back to practicing it a little bit more basically. But she's actually very good at her recall because we've done it very slowly for a very long time. So I needed to really count when I call her. Aaliyah, here. Yes, good here. Yes, that's a good eye. You're so enthusiastic. Here. Thank you. That's good. Good girl. Nice here. Good girl. Okay, so that's our recall basics. And that is, again, something you're going to build over weeks and weeks. It's not going to get done in a week. Once she starts getting good at it, I'm going to be super tempted to let her off the leash and practice, and let her go. Like I said, it's easier for her to unlearn it, so keep her on a leash and start with increased levels of difficulty before you ever let her off leash. When I did this with my lab, I practiced with him on a long leash and a flexi lead for about 2 months before I ever tried him off leash. And when I did try him off leash, we were in a very large pen. I had him leashed to one end of the pen, and I put a pile of hot dogs at the other end of the pen, and then I went back to him and let him go. And he was about 60% of the way to those hot dogs when I called him here, and he turned around and came back. Then I felt like I could trust him in a field with other stuff, being a temptation. I just need them to be very solid. It's never something I work with near traffic or anything else, obviously dangerous, but if you're looking to get your dog off leash or have them be free in a field and get some more exercise, you want to make sure that you're testing with all of those freedom variables as best as you can before we actually give them that freedom. So like I said, it's easier to unlearn this than it is to learn it. With enough practice, you can have a beautiful recall. Okay, thanks.